Shalom. All praise and honor and glory going to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash, Dama understanding elders and apostles of great millstones. How he takes to all you occupants out there pushing this work, this truth, with all honesty and sincerity, by way of the highways and byways and by way of the internet, going out teaching and preaching. This is your brother Nayab, and I'm back with a news update. This is for fair use, and for educational purposes only. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It was one, let me try to think. It was one video I wasn't able to get. I can't quite remember it right now. I can't remember it, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Fair use and for educational purposes only.
Okay, y'all. It just got really serious right now. And they are not fucking playing right now. So if you're not in five, I feel sorry for you. Because your ass might just be cooked for real, twin. And the fact I'm from Louisiana, we Gucci. We got Texas, bud. So everybody else, y'all ass cooked. So do your research. Because they are not playing right now. And Trump just got granted immunity, bro. Yeah, they just fucking divided us now even more into independent individual jurisdictional courts. And I'm going to tell y'all why this matters, especially now. Pay attention to that big fat bill, beautiful bill that they trying to pass. Yeah, y'all must ain't heard about what they doing to them damn illegals, bro. They throwing their asses off the coast of the fucking Gulf, wrapping their asses up, DOA, who knows, and chunking their ass out the back of a fucking plane, bro. This shit is insane.
We have big news right now. Donald Trump is now calling for deporting American citizens next. This is serious, and he just made this statement. Speaking in Florida, Donald Trump called for the deportation of U.S. citizens, saying we have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too, if you want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job. Trump here is referring to American citizens who commit violent crime, and is now saying that people who whack others across the head with a baseball bat should be deported, even if they're American citizens. There is no basis in the United States Constitution or in law that would allow the President of the United States to deport American citizens to even prison facilities in third-party countries. Every American citizen is entitled to due process under the United States law in United States courts and serve time if convicted in United States facilities. Many of these individuals...
This is an amazing thing that they've done here.
But listen, people don't have to come here. If they self-deport and go home, they can come back legally. We will let them come back legally.
And there is a lot of self-deportation.
Yes. But if you wait and we bring you to this facility, you don't ever get to come back to America. You don't get the chance to come back and be an American again and work here.
For all my people, you gotta love this, guys. Let me explain this to you, what the guy's talking about. J.D. Vance. This is special. You gotta love this. J.D. Vance, the vice motherfucking president, is involved in a group that specializes in buying up farmland. He's invested in it, the whole 9 yards. It's gonna buy up farmland as they go out of business. Isn't that just pro-America? Don't you just love that our vice president is waiting in the cut? He's waiting in the cut to be able to buy up some good old cheap farmland that someone had to give up in desperation.
ICE detention centers are calling 911 hundreds of times. People are seizing, bleeding, miscarrying, and they're trying to die. They're not breathing inside the camps of ICE detention centers. Here is a 911 call from a woman that was left bleeding. Staff didn't have no medical equipment. ICE is jailing more people than ever. Here's the 911 call. Listen up.
911, what's the address of the emergency? 3130 North Oakland Street.
This is straight up from the ICE detention center. I want you guys to listen.
3130 North Oakland Street, the ICE processing center.
ICE.
Okay, and then what area is the emergency in? In medical. Thank you. And what's your name? My name is Nurse Patterson. Tell me exactly what happened. I have a 4-month pregnant female that started having low abdominal pain after trying to use the bathroom. Now she's having vaginal bleeding. And are you with her now? No, I haven't.
These people are jailed with no trial, no lawyers, no nothing. Listen up.
And she has not had a bowel movement in 3 days. Okay, is there any signs of life that we heard heartbeat? Does she feel any kicking, anything like that? She just feels pain. Okay, after she feels any movement, all she feels is pain. Okay, wow. And has she ever been evaluated with the heart rate? No, we don't have the equipment to do that.
No equipment?
Oh. Paramedics on their way. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
This is horrific. This should be a conducted investigation of this facility immediately.
There are reports of a 75-year-old Cuban national who died in ICE custody. He had lived in the United States for 60 years. He was being held in ICE detention in Florida. Is there anything you can tell us about that? There's still not a lot of information, how he died.
I'm unaware of that. I'm not aware of that. I mean, people die in ICE custody. People die in county jails. People die in state prisons.
Fucking devil.
I'm Gabe Gutierrez, inside Alligator, Alcatraz. The Trump administration and the state of Florida had all of this built in just 8 days. It'll soon house up to 3,000 undocumented immigrants here temporarily. The acting ICE director tells me the goal is to have detainees here for no more than 2 weeks.
We want to ensure that we remove people back in a safe and humane manner, and we'd much rather do it quickly, not only for the people detained, like I said, but just for cost savings for the American government.
The administration says this is going to cost about $450 million a year, but they say that it will be reimbursed, at least in part, by a FEMA program that was previously used to house migrants in different parts of the country, including in New York City. Now, the Trump administration has ramped up its mass deportation plan, and some opponents of the Trump administration have said that not enough of those being arrested by ICE actually have criminal records. And according to a review of ICE data by NBC News, only about half of those in ICE custody have either been charged with or convicted of a crime previously. The acting ICE director, though, says the priority is still to arrest the worst of the worst.
We are still going after the worst of the worst, but like any law enforcement agency, if we do encounter someone on the outside or through the course of another law enforcement investigation, we do come across people that are just here illegally, we will no longer turn a blind eye to that.
Just weeks into hurricane season, the Pentagon is cutting off data from 3 key weather satellites. The unique instruments set to shut down by Monday collect information at night and on cloudy days, providing crucial data for forecasting the rapid intensification of storms. Scientists warn the data shutdown could negatively impact forecasts for millions in hurricane-prone areas. Just weeks into hurricane season, the Pentagon is cutting off data from 3.
We have breaking news right now. According to The Guardian, ICE officials have been ordered to arrest more people even without proper arrest warrants. They've been told to get creative with arrests, including of undocumented people encountered by chance. This is a major heads up. ICE agents are now not only going to be arresting those with active criminal warrants, they're going to be arresting anyone who may incidentally be caught up in an ICE raid as well and may be undocumented. According to The Guardian, senior immigration officials have told rank-and-file agents to, quote, turn the creative knob up to 11 when it comes to ICE enforcement activities, to interviewing and arresting what they're calling potentially collaterals, to, quote, push the envelope with the tactics that they are using. Quote, if it involves handcuffs on wrists, it's probably worth pursuing, one of the messages reviewed by The Guardian says. Be aware that immigration enforcement activities are ramping up, especially this week, this weekend, so spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have breaking news right now. According to The Guardian, ICE officials have been ordered to arrest more people even without proper arrest warrants. They've been told to get creative with arrests, including of undocumented people encountered by chance. This is a major heads up. ICE agents are now not only going to be arresting those with active criminal.
This is not a good situation.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely see the on the left of your screen. This is catching right now. So we just want to remind you, you're watching the KCRA3 News at 7.
There we go.
You saw it coming. You saw it coming.
Yeah. We're fine. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was quite intense. Yeah, that was quite an intense pop. I mean, we have Alan trying to get video of this loud, or this big smoke, but yeah, we are standing behind the vehicle right now because that was quite intense, and you can hear all the pops of these fireworks, guys. Again, we are as safe as we can be, but we're trying to push back just a little bit further behind this vehicle.
Germany fucked around opening their borders, and now they're finding out that the people they let in are harassing their women. A real incident reported on June 30th, 2025, where 4 Syrian nationals aged 18 to 28 were arrested in Gelnhausen, Germany, for allegedly sexually assaulting 9 underage girls at a public pool, which was corroborated by police statements to BILD or Bild and additional reports to Breitbart and The Mirror. So this AFD campaign poster featuring Alice Weidel is advocating immediate deportation of the offenders, reflecting
On avait des billets pour la Tour Eiffel et on attendait en file et à un certain moment, on n'a pas pu entrer parce que ça n'ouvre pas, il fait trop chaud. On nous a indiqué que ça n'ouvrirait probablement pas de la journée, donc on va trouver une autre activité à faire, mais bon, avec cette chaleur, c'est pas évident. Bon, on savait avant de partir qu'il ferait très chaud. On a quitté une canicule au Québec pour venir vivre une autre canicule en France.
Praticamente siamo a Roma da ieri e fa caldissimo, il cane spesso lo mettiamo nella borsetta perché a 1 gli scottano le zampette e 2 non riesce a camminare per il troppo caldo perché boccheggia e noi anche siamo proprio fa troppo caldo.
17 beaches in the Chicago area closed to swimmers so people can sit on the sand, obviously, but health officials are pleading with them not to go in the water. And then we're seeing these really stack up across the country, too. At least 5 states, from New York to California, including Massachusetts, Michigan, Illinois, obviously, Washington State, all tracking closures, beach closures, due to bacteria levels rising in the water. There's no, from what we can tell from public health officials, one kind of common thread culprit across all of these. We're obviously talking about different regions. In Washington State, they're talking about toxic algae. Parts of this area talking about E. coli. But in a lot of areas, one of particular concern as public health officials kind of work through this and figure out what's going on here is something called Vibrio. That is a bacteria that occurs naturally in coastal waters, normally at low, safe levels, but it can spike amid basically extreme heat and...
Well, get to hiding. Diddy was just found not guilty. Hide all your baby oil. Ain't gonna be no more baby oil in the United States when this boy get out. You already know the Diddy party's about to go crazy. On a serious note, he was found not guilty for everything besides paying for dudes to come clap, Cassie. We gotta be honest, we all know the trafficking charges were cooked the minute Cassie was talking about she FaceTimed her husband while she was getting on with Diddy and how she kept going back. 100% guilty of domestic violence though, and abuse. But that wasn't on the case, so yeah, he's free. We all knew it was cooked when 50 Cent baby mama now tried to play victim, but then doubled back and said, hey, call me Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe, or Michael Jordan when it comes to the free calls. What? And she kept going back because she didn't want to live a regular life. She wanted her $17K in bills. We knew it was cooked when all the witnesses that kept saying, yeah, Diddy was a monster, but then later admitting that, yes, we begged him for our jobs back. We begged to go back to him. I knew it was. We knew it was cooked when the FBI tried to say, oh, we want to qualify if you fly a girl out and you do something, that would be labeled as trafficking. The whole world was like, nah. We not doing that. Don't get it twisted though. Diddy is definitely going into the New Testament of the Bible, for sure. Bro has surprised devil himself with the antics that he is doing, especially with them rubber.
He's going with the 2/3.
Duckies. His image is cooked. You feel me? Any celebrity that go to this new Diddy party that we know he about to have when he get out, they claim he probably gonna get probation. He probably be out by late.
It's everywhere. I mean, this dumpster showed up yesterday on day 1 of the strike, and the trash is overflowing, pretty much blocking the sidewalk, overflowing into the street. And on the other side, I showed you guys just a half hour ago, it's halfway up to the stop sign here at 18th and Catherine. This is one of 60 designated spots where you're supposed to be bringing your trash. I mean, you can smell it from a block away. The city says Philadelphia generates 2,000 tons of trash every day. And right now, they have 60 sites like these set up for people to bring their garbage. Yesterday, we saw some issues at the site. Striking workers blocking entrances with cars and, according to the mayor, opening fire hydrants to keep people from bringing their trash. Workers want you to avoid solving the problem as a kind of bargaining tool in their negotiations with the city. The Parker administration filed multiple injunctions to try and get people to bring their trash here, including one to keep picketers 10 feet away from facilities where they're striking and limit picketers to 8 per location. We asked the city what's being done to mitigate the situation until a deal is reached. Here's what they had to say.
We're doing the best that we can with the resources that we have.
Are you looking at other resources, perhaps from other municipalities or private resources that you might be able to hire to come in and help?
Absolutely. So right now, we're actually looking at bringing in additional trucks to support our operations to clean up those illegally dumped locations and sites.
Starting tomorrow, using foreign brand toilet paper will officially be considered illegal. No store in the United States will be allowed to sell foreign brand toilet paper, or they could face fines of up to $100,000. This is no joke. Data shows that the U.S. imports approximately $800 million worth of foreign toilet paper every year, primarily from Canada, Mexico, and various Asian markets. Several retail associations have already submitted formal protests to Congress, warning that such a sudden sudden ban could cause massive disruptions in logistics and inventory, and that consumers' long-established brand preferences cannot be changed overnight. However,
Bro, chill, bro. Bro, chill, bro. Hey, don't pull no foul on me, bro. Nah, bro. You done did what you did, bro. Chill, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Chill, bro. Good, bro.
Near the airport. We're still working to find out more about the people on board that plane. Now, we can tell you that our chopper saw some wreckage in the woods in Gloucester County. The Gloucester County Emergency Management calls this a mass casualty incident, and they're asking people to please avoid the area. According to near the airport.
People are pouring baby oil on one another outside this courthouse. Baby oil having a very big play in the freak-offs we heard about. You have people saying it's not Rico, it's Frico.
Are we still using cages for children?
Sir, we don't use cages for children. In the border facilities that you've been to, they were not made to detain children. As the children are processed through, they are in subparts of those facilities.
Madam
I don't.
Secretary?
Yes, I'm
Now,
being as clear as I can, sir. Respectfully, I'm trying to answer your question.
Yes or no, are we still putting children in cages?
To my knowledge, CBP never purposely put a child in a cage if you need a cage like this.
Purposely or whatever, are we putting children in cages as of today?
Children are processed at the border facility stations that you've been at. Some of
and I've seen the cages. I just want you to admit that the cages exist.
Sir, they're not cages.
What are they?
Areas of the border facility that are carved out for the safety and protection of those who remain there while they're being processed. If we have two gangs, we separate them into separate areas of that facility. If we have a father and daughter, we separate that from another son.
We're not going to go through the semantics. Now, I saw the cyclone fences that were made as cages. And you did too. All you have to do is admit it. If it's a bad policy, then change it. But don't mislead the committee. Do not mislead the committee.
What is a chain link fence enclosed into a chamber on a concrete floor represent to you? Is that a cage?
It's a detention space, ma'am, that you know has existed for decades.
Does it differ from the cages you put your dogs in when you let them stay outside? Is it different?
Yes.
In what sense?
It's larger. It has facilities. It provides room to sit, to stand, to lay down.
So did my dog's cage.
You have all of these vacancies in part because a good many people don't want to be a part of that kind of circumstance. They're victims too. The children of victims and the people who are forced to do what they are doing to these babies are victims too. We have surpassed our color quota. There are those who believe that we already have too many people of color in this country. And these, one of whom happens to be the President of the United States of America, would institute policies that will prevent people of color from coming to this country. White babies would not be treated the way these babies of color are being treated, Madam Secretary. This is about color. We've opened our doors. You're tired, you're poor. Huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
There's official tunnels of the synagogue. They found miles and miles of these beautiful tunnels.
What's so beautiful about being underneath the ground where sewers and rats be, and then you be finding baby strollers and baby toys and little kids dresses and shoes and shit. What's so beautiful about that? And these people claim to be the chosen. This is what she meant by people was putting baby oil on other people.
In all of my time covering the CIA.
Freaky ass niggas. I didn't even see that said Ohio.
So Trump supporters are now saying that they don't want Donald Trump to just deport migrants to Alligator, Alcatraz, but they want him to deport the entire Hispanic population to Alligator, Alcatraz, even if they are U.S. citizens. So here is what Laura Loomer, a top MAGA influencer who often has the ears of the president, just posted on her account. Quote, "Alligator lives matter. The good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now." So guess how many Hispanics there are in the United States? That's right. 65 million. So what Laura Loomer is advocating for here is for Donald Trump to send the entire Hispanic population to be eaten alive by alligators at his internment camp. What are we doing here, guys? And how is it possible that he increased his voter share among Latinos in the 2024 election? That will never make sense to me, and this is crazy.
Tonight, 4 CPD officers accused of having sex with migrants living at the police station.
And WGN's Dana Rebick is live at the 10th District Station with more details tonight. Dana.
And tonight, a Chicago Police Department spokesperson does confirm this is an active investigation, again, as you mentioned, involving 4 patrol officers out of the 10th District here on the west side. These allegations are that, again, they engaged in sexual relationships with migrants who were living at this police station, some were told, who may have been minors. We know tonight that the Bureau of Internal Affairs, as well as the Civilian Office of Police Accountability.
How did I know that they was going to say that some may be minors? How did I know? Oh, I forgot, because the so-called white man is behind this, and so-called white people, these Edomites, they love messing with kids. All right. That's what they into, man. Just call it for what it is.
Have both opened an investigation. It is not clear how or when these allegations came to light or how many migrants this involves. The 4 officers are assigned to the Ogden District. This covers Little Village and Lawndale on the west side. We do not know if these officers have been stripped of their police powers during this probe. The city, for some time, we know, has struggled to find adequate housing for migrants, many coming from South America and Central America. Before being transferred to shelters, hundreds of migrants have been living at police stations across the city since arriving in Chicago, most of them being bused or flown here from Texas. Now, we have reached out to Mayor Brandon Johnson's office tonight, as well as the police board and COPA for comment on this case and these allegations. So far, we're still waiting to hear back. Live at the 10th.
We have some news right now. Flooding has already occurred at the quote-unquote Alligator Alcatraz detention facility being built in the Everglades. And according to latest reporting from Florida's Attorney General, well, the first detainees, the first undocumented migrants, will be arriving at the facility as soon as this evening. Now, in a statement to reporters, the Florida Division of Emergency Management says that they've taken action to address the water leaks that happened overnight because of a simple thunderstorm. Florida officials say that this facility could withstand Category 3 hurricane winds. I highly doubt that based on the fact that it literally started flooding just from a simple thunderstorm. Remember, this facility is being built for one purpose: cruelty. Many of the migrants that are going to be sent here, including those that are going to be sent here tonight, have never been convicted of a crime. And there are serious questions about whether or not it has proper ventilation in the Florida heat, whether or not it has proper showers, electricity, and more, let alone the fact that literally Trump and other Republicans are quietly endorsing the idea of these migrants potentially being eaten by alligators if they try to run away. Spread the word and follow along for more.
Welcome to Philly. Oh my God. Vean esto. 2 days out to trash in Philly. 2 days out to trash, no pick out trash in Philly. And look at this. This is crazy.
Manager Mark Lou here at the desk. Got some breaking news to tell you about. This is a video from SkyCal of a major bus crash in the Antelope Valley. What you're looking at here is a city bus overturned near Sierra Highway and West Avenue C in Lancaster. This is actually north of Lancaster, between Lancaster and Rosamond. Now, it was just about an hour ago that LA County Fire and the CHP responded here for the report of an overturned bus. They found 20 patients here, 20 injuries on that bus, including, they said, 16 were low-level injuries, 2 people had moderate injuries, 1 person with critical injuries, and then that 20th person had an undetermined injury. We know the bus driver has been transported to Antelope Valley Hospital. No other vehicles apparently involved here, but it looks like the bus did hit railroad tracks. Those are damaged as well. CHP on scene investigating this. We'll have more later this afternoon when we get more information from the CHP.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. T plus 5 seconds. T plus 10 seconds. T plus 20 seconds.
Microsoft cuts 9,000 jobs. Layoffs. That's 9,000 people unemployed. You're not understanding where we're heading. Everyone will have no choice but to be on digital. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody's going to make it on this digital service. See, this is where the mark of the beast come in. This is where it comes in. Yes, sir. We are heading towards the mark of the beast. We are heading towards the 7-year tribulation. Oh, yes, sir. Why do you think these mass layoffs is happening? Why do you think people are getting pulled from Medicaid and certain substance that the government provide? See, most people will be able to prevail in this society if they're following a particular someone. and following a particular agenda and a role. But if you are a believer of Most High, if you are a believer in God, you are not making it.
Now, where new immigration laws take the crackdown a step further, the laws create sweeping criminal penalties for anyone who provides shelter to an undocumented immigrant. The American Immigration Council says they make it illegal for a church to offer temporary shelter, a landlord to rent out a room, or a family member to live with someone who is undocumented. Now, where new immigration laws take
when you have illegal murderers and rapists and heinous criminals in a detention facility surrounded by alligators, yes, I do think that's a deterrent for them to try to escape. We do know that some of these illegal criminals have escaped from other detention facilities, like one in New Jersey, which I know was recently reported on. So, of course, we want to keep the American people safe, and we want to remove these public safety threats from our streets, and we want to effectively detain them as best as we can.
A new U.S. law says if you criticize Israel, you will be deported. Starting now, anyone who's not a natural-born American citizen will be deported for anti-Israeli social media posts. This includes commenting and even simply liking something that is anti-Israeli. It started when U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that, quote, anybody who dares to criticize Israel will be denied entry into the U.S. That is now being expanded to anybody here legally on a work visa, student visa, or any green card. Meaning, if you weren't born here, you are not able to criticize Israel online or even like a anti-Israeli TikTok or tweet. And immigration officials now have the law to search your phone and force you to unlock your phone, or you will face deportation anyway. We've actually already seen students with student visas at universities be arrested over leading pro-Palestinian protests that have nothing to do with Israel. And as President Trump said, this is simply up to the government's discretion on what is anti-Israeli, meaning simply liking a post that they deem anti-Israeli could land you deported. Make sure to follow me for the truth.
The paper finds that as many as 250,000 people die each year from errors in hospitals and other healthcare facilities. That would make it the third leading cause of death in the U.S.
The CDC does not consider medical error to be a cause of death in listing our national health statistics each year. It means medical error is the number 3 cause of death in the United States. We're just not measuring. The reason it's not being counted is that the system relies on billing codes to compile our national health statistics. That list of most common causes of death in the United States, that list is a big deal. It informs all of our research funding priorities as a country, all of our public health campaigns. We spend a lot of time and money on heart disease and cancer, but we haven't even really recognized that the third leading burden on health in America in terms of death is medical error in its many forms.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to be caught dead, literally having to rely on going to the hospital all the time just to take care of myself. And that's exactly why I bought The Holistic Guide to Wellness by Nicole.
So Amazon has deployed their 1 millionth robot, and yes, it is bad news for human workers. You think for each of those robots, you're getting 1 to 2 million people potentially that are being displaced from jobs, but in the company's interest, right, it's going to give you better productivity. The biggest problem I see with this is obviously people losing their jobs. I get that, and I do think that AI will create a lot of new opportunities, but what will happen is the companies are going to over-pivot on AI. They're going to replace too many people. They're going to have too many humanoids, robo-taxis, all that stuff. And they forget that people actually need jobs to pay money to buy their products and services. It doesn't matter if you got a warehouse full of 5 million robots if nobody has jobs to buy anything, right? So the companies, these CEOs of these big companies are so far removed from reality and regular people that they don't appreciate or understand that people don't make money, people don't buy products and services. And then the governments will jump in eventually because the tax revenue will start to decrease and they'll really feel it. Again, skill yourself up. That's why I offer the AI tutor, not just for that content, but also the experience of using AI. So get yourself skilled up. This is going to be an ebb and flow, but you got to stay in the game.
Israel has just bombed Syria today, July 2nd, 2025. They do not care that the world is watching. These people need to be stopped. And by these people, I mean the politicians.
Kapal tenggelam. Info. Kapal tenggelam. Astagfirullahaladzim. Ya Allah. Info. Ya Allah.
Since the right is joking about feeding people to alligators, this is a reminder that it used to be a joke in the Jim Crow era to feed black children to alligators, to use them as alligator bait. There's some evidence they may have actually done this because all of the horrible things people have thought of, someone has tried at one point. And that's what happens when you dehumanize people. You make it okay to do horrible things to them.